Spirit fly into mystic. Let your soul and spirit fly into mystic. Into mystic. Into mystic. Into mystic.
And welcome back to Mystic Matters. We are the Greater Mystic Chamber of Commerce. Good evening, Tricia Cunningham.
Good evening, Suzette.
And welcome back.
Thank you very much.
Well, we're starting to gear up. Huh? We're getting busy.
We are in March. We're through the major part of the snow and the winter. We've gotten through it.
Okay. And just a recap again. Business. We are open downtown.
We are absolutely
open. Just to
open
get that
downtown.
out once again. That we are open for business. Come on down. There is parking.
There's parking, and I can give you some information about the streetscape and about the bridge project. And so right now it's March, and by April 15th, we should be done with the bridge project that is getting in the way of the two-way traffic. So by April 15th, we should be back with the two-way traffic in downtown. So that'll be exciting. And streetscape is moving along forward. So we look forward to a good summer and a great spring. So
great. Well, we've had a couple of shows. We've taped a couple of shows. And people have been asking, what's going on at the Mystic Seaport and the Mystic Aquarium?
They are.
Well, guess what? I'm going to let you introduce our special
That
guest.
sounds great. Okay? Tonight with us we have Chris Freeman from Mystic Seaport. Now, not only is he from Mystic Seaport, he's also our chairman of the board for 2011. So at the Greater Mystic Chamber of Commerce. So, Chris, you have some updates on Mystic Seaport.
Yes, tell us.
We, as we're easing out of our winter schedule, the Seaport has been in a winter schedule. So I know that's definitely one thing we want to talk about a little bit and what to expect.
Sure, absolutely. Well, spring is in the air, as you pointed out. The snow is melting. I just, in fact, today was out on the museum grounds. We've got a lot of our gardening crew, volunteers and paid staff alike, getting the place ship-shape for the summer season ahead. And at the end of March, yes, we go off our winter hours and on to our regular full-time hours, 7 days a week, every day. I only have a few things to talk about as far as the month ahead into the summer season. I suggest anybody who's planning a visit to the museum to look first on our website. You'll get a more complete sense of all the various activities that are happening on the grounds. Right now, this time of year, we're getting close to the beginning of some of our community sailing programs, boats in the water, so people who are hankering to get out there, get out under sail. You can look at that program on the web. And also we're in the period of time when we do enrollments for our summer day camp programs. And there's a really nice...
And enroll early, Chris?
Enroll early and often. In fact, we're offering some discounts right now for multiple enrollments if you've got a family with more than one school-age child who's looking for a summer experience. So again, get on the website and check it out. And those programs are open enrollment, and once they're filled, they're filled. So it certainly makes sense to, as you're thinking now about occupying your summer months with activities for your kids, think of Mystic Seaport, certainly.
Excellent.
And the sailing programs, I have to tell you, are just wonderful. When I was a kid,
Did you do the sailing program? No, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
You did the sailing program.
Yes, and I think that was, I don't know, it was something that every kid had to do. You had to take the sailing program at the Mystic Seaport, okay, and you had to work at Abbott's. I don't know if that was back in the 70s.
You got to learn how to swim, learn how to sail, and learn how to make a really good lobster roll.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You just did. I mean, every kid got signed up. Okay, you're going down there. Sure, we'll do that. I never did anything with it, but it was certainly a lot of fun. So I really encourage it. I really do. It was a lot of fun.
Thank you. Okay. So in addition to business as usual, come down, get on board the tall ships, experience the historic village, see the working shipyard, the Charles W. Morgan, currently out of the water undergoing a restoration. We do have something new opening for the summer season.
Something new.
Yeah, there's always something new at Mystic Seaport. This is a new traveling exhibit that's coming to us from Independence Seaport Museum down in Philadelphia. Something a little different for Mystic Seaport. It's an exhibit about tattoos called Skin and Bones, all about tattoos and the life of sailors.
Now you've got my attention.
I thought I might.
Yeah, okay, all right.
So the exhibit comprised of a lot of the different graphics that represent tattoos, the equipment that was used in tattooing from some of the earliest kind of scary stuff to the more modern techniques, and perhaps most interesting to those who are curious about history, tattooing really is an interesting way to look at popular culture. And so the imagery reflects a lot of what was going on at the time. Sailors were some of the early adopters for
Absolutely.
tattooing and the art of tattoo. First for personal adornment and identification. I'm told that they often would put a name or a trademark phrase around their wrist in the event they fall overboard and heaven forbid the body needed identification. But they also reflected the time. So there's lots of patriotic art. There's a lot of that sort of the sympathetic. Everybody, of course, thinks about, you know, mom with an anchor or a heart. There's some of that.
Right.
And there's some more exotic stuff. Sailors, of course, and mariners
That's
traveled the
very
world and
Yeah,
picked up
tattooing is not
influences from
new.
around the
Right.
globe.
When
Wow.
does this exhibit open up?
So it opens on March 19th, opens to the public, and it's going to be ongoing throughout the summer season. Also on the 19th, for those who are interested in the arts, but not necessarily the tattooing arts, the gallery, the Maritime Gallery at Mystic Seaport, is doing a program called Behind the Canvas. And this is an opportunity to meet a local artist, hear them talk about their painting, how they develop their work, how they compose their picture. This March we're featuring Lou Bonamart, who's a Connecticut artist,
Yes,
and he
he is,
paints in
yeah.
the watercolor style. So you've probably
Yes, I do
seen
know
his
Lou.
work.
He is
Some
around.
actually has
fabulous
literally lived
local
across
artists.
the street from me.
You have some wonderful, wonderful
Really
local
nice guy.
artists.
And so that's in the evening on the 19th. There is
Good.
a fee for that. It's $20 for non-members and I think $15 for members, and you can make arrangements by calling the gallery directly or again, getting on the website, mysticseaport.org.
Just before
Lots
you leave,
going
though,
on.
Chris, could you just tell us? All of us know the hours to the seaport, but just you say we're going back to the regular hours. What exactly are those hours?
Sure. So 10 to 5 is the grounds are open. The gate opens at 9 for ticketing, and the gate closes at 6.
Okay.
But the operational hours are 10 to 5.
And that's going to be 7 days a week.
7 days a week, starting the 28th.
Chris Freeman, as always, it's a pleasure.
It's my
and
pleasure.
I know that
Thanks so
we're going to
much.
be working together. We have a surprise in a couple of weeks.
see
We'll
you again
in the
soon.
solos.
Yes, indeed.
But thank you very much, Chris.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you, Chris.
So what's going on?
Well, tomorrow night we have our Business After Hours, which is
Okay.
our monthly get-together with other chamber members, and it's our business networking opportunity. And that is March 9th. March 8th.
Okay.
And that's Tuesday night, 5:30 to 7:30, and this is at the Mystic Marriott, as I said. And they will be featuring great food from Octagon, and we'll be featuring
Wonderful.
Tours of their facility, and they are celebrating a wonderful anniversary this year, 10 years.
That can't be possible, Tricia.
I remember going on the Hard Hat tour.
Yes.
I remember, and I was amazed. And then to
Amazed.
see the final project,
Right.
and now 10 years later, it is still a beautiful, beautiful.
And do you remember how massive
Yeah.
the project
Yeah.
just massive.
Yeah.
It was wonderful.
So it's very exciting, 10 years. So we congratulate Waterford Hotel Group
Yes,
and the Mystic Marriott
congratulations.
on 10 years.
Yeah.
It's wonderful in this beautiful property. Also on Wednesday we have Connecticut Business Day,
Yeah.
which is up in Hartford, and that's sponsored by CBIA, Connecticut Business and Industry Association. And Connecticut Business and Industry Association has partnered with the Connecticut Association of Chamber of Commerce Executives to coordinate a bus for us to ride up to Hartford for the day.
Right.
So that will be available at 6:45 Wednesday morning if anybody's eager to get out.
Wow,
Just reach
6:45,
out to me
yeah.
right away so that we can get you on that bus.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
So we're busy.
We are.
Constantly busy. But this evening, Tricia, we always talk about small business, and there's one person that's really been a friend to the chamber, and has had many small businesses.
Yes.
And I'd like to introduce her
And she's
tonight.
busy.
As she is busy. Talk about somebody that can really reinvent themselves and be successful at it.
Yes.
Okay, so we welcome back Lorraine Sanborn. Lorraine is not
Lorraine.
new. You probably have seen her co-hosting every once in a while with when Tricia's gone or when I'm gone, and we are very grateful for that.
Thank you.
So, Lorraine, I'm going to ask you, what are you doing now?
Oh, I'm glad you didn't use that nasally little what are you doing now
No,
thing.
because like I said, you have an opportunity,
Well, and
and it's
she-
wonderful to reinvent
And
yourself.
she's involved with so many different
Yes.
nonprofits.
Yes,
and
absolutely.
So
This, what I'm here today to talk about is my latest nonprofit. It's called Fresh Connections, and it is a networking. What camera? Oh, a networking group for professional women. It's one profession per chapter. And do you want a little background on how it got started?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's really exciting how this got started. About a year and a half ago, I met a couple of women down the other end of the state at a networking meeting. And they told me about this group they had started called, doesn't matter, I don't want to go there. Anyway, I decided that I was going to start a similar group in this area, in the Mystic area, which, thank you, the Chamber of Commerce has been wonderful about giving us meeting space. And then after 4 or 5 months, we realized that the dues we were paying were not giving us what we thought we were going to get. So at that point, there are 11 wonderful women that had already joined, and we sat down one day and said, we don't need this corporation from 3,000 miles away. We can do this ourselves. So we came up with the name. The word fresh came from the fact that there were 2 young women in their 20s that really were fresh, but they were wonderful. And we didn't want to use the word network or connect or referral or leads. We really want to make connections. So the name became Fresh Connections. And
Because
that-
sometimes, you know, when you do say network or connections or
Leads,
leads,
referrals.
It
sometimes
gets put
they
into
get-
a box.
Yes, it
you know?
does.
And it does sometimes have in some instances have a negative effect.
Correct.
You know what I mean? So I think this is wonderful.
It's absolutely amazing. The growth has been more than we anticipated.
So you started with these 11.
We started with the 11 in January, and now the Mystic chapter is, well, we max out at 25 per chapter.
Okay.
25 women per chapter, again, single profession. I think Mystic is at like 22 or 23, so we're
Wow.
almost maxed. But now we have 3 other chapters that have been started in the last few months, one in Wakefield, Rhode Island, one in Old Saybrook, and one in Norwich.
That's terrific.
It's absolutely amazing. So I'm seeing probably in the next 4 to 5 months, all chapters will be full. There's going to be a new chapter starting in Westerly this month or next month, depending on when the person, Maura Ladone from Ladone Financial Services,
Yep.
love that woman, she's amazing. She wants to start one in Westerly. Mary Lou LaMontagne, who is a business person for Newport Fed, has taken on the Wakefield chapter. And Kathy Kane from Bovier Insurance has taken on the Norwich chapter.
Wow.
And Old Saybrook has been taken on by Alicia Farrell, who's a cognitive psychologist. So I don't know how to explain it. It's just the most phenomenal thing I've ever seen that's just grown.
Now, so you've talked about the chapters and who's in them and where they are and who's leading them, but what does it do?
It allows women to, how about, you know about the Old Boy Network?
Yes.
Well, we don't have any Old Boy Network. We actually come in to our meetings. We meet every other week. So in Mystic, we meet every other Wednesday. So tomorrow at the Daniel Packer Inn, upstairs on the 3rd floor, is our meeting. We come in, we do a 30-second escalator speech, just to say who we are and what we do. And every meeting we have a member that showcases their business. One of the women in the group, Sherilyn from General Woodcrafters, came up with the idea that we need to brainstorm and help each member develop their business
Because I was going to
with
ask
great
what happens after each 25 has gone
Right.
through and, you know, you've gone through and done that, then what? So that's
Well,
terrific. You just answered my question.
Well,
so
example, one of the girls, Mary Lou, came up with, well, not brainstorming, we need to do fresh storming. So last meeting, I was the person who got fresh stormed because I am reinventing. I am
Right,
reinventing my
exactly.
insurance business.
Absolutely.
So because of that, I'm looking at a couple of niche products and things. And it was amazing. Alicia took the whiteboard and she wrote all the things down, and everybody had input as to, you know, maybe I need a blog, maybe I need newsletters. I mean, there was just all kinds of really good constructive criticism. This meeting tomorrow, we're doing, we're going to fresh storm Ashley Turney. Her company is Livet, and she creates custom-made trips to Italy, whether they be groups or family or whatever. So tomorrow is her time on the chopping block. But it's just amazing.
So every other Wednesday, and how do you choose the person that's going to be the keynote speaker for that?
It's on a rotation.
Okay, it's on a rotation. Now, do you do things like obviously the marketing end of it? How do you market yourself? Do you do things like identifying your business? For instance, I know with a lot of young people and a lot of people that are trying to go into business today, what happens is that they try to be everything to everybody.
Yes.
Okay, and so they start off with a certain, and I don't know if you do this, and maybe this is a helpful hint.
I'm listening.
In order to be successful, not try to be everything to everybody, because you are in the world of the internet, the blogging, the Facebook, is to actually identify your business and identify your customer.
And we do that.
Okay.
We do that, and like at the end of an escalator speech, which I prepared my 30-second escalator speech for tomorrow. It's 37 seconds. I still got to whittle it down a little bit. But at the end, it's what do I need from you this week? What do I need you to look for me for this week? I need you to look for families that need to have their insurance analyzed. Somebody else may be looking at a home party. We've got we have Cabby Girls. We call it, the Cabby is Carol Anderson by invitation. It's
Right,
a clothing line.
Yeah, it's a very big.
Each
yeah.
chapter has a Cabby Girl. I mean, it's just like this little virus that went through, which is wonderful. We have an interior decorator. I mean, there's just all kinds of different,
different
businesses.
kinds of businesses.
And there's not the same in a lot of the chapters either, which allows us as chapter members, let's say that we don't have someone who has, I don't know, pick a profession. But there's one in the Mystic chapter, but the other chapters don't have someone in that profession. They can reach out to the person in that chapter. In
have,
the
like,
other chapters.
Gatherings amongst all the chapters.
April 28th, we're going to have a all-member get-together at Elmridge Golf Course in Pawcatuck.
Good
That's going to be
choice.
really exciting. I think by April, we'll probably have maybe 50, 60 members by then that will be meeting
Aren't you
each other.
finding, Lorraine, that in this tough economic times there has been just a big influx of women starting their own business and actually
Yeah.
making money on it?
Yeah.
Actually making a living, and you're
Lorraine's
finding
been
more and
saying
more.
for years that was coming.
Yes, I have.
You have
Yeah,
been,
I
and
have.
I know I've, and here it is.
It's like this forecast. Home-based businesses,
A lot of it.
cross-platform marketing businesses,
Right.
formerly known as network marketing. Again, you don't want to jump it into a box. But just small home businesses or even part-time businesses. I mean, one of the members of our group teaches yoga for Parks and Recreation. She does Leah Sophia part-time, and she has a full-time job.
Well, you need that
And
nowadays.
today,
yeah,
you really
right.
do need that. It's amazing. She just happens to be my daughter, Lori, but it just
She learned from
She-
you, okay? She has a very good mentor.
Thank you. But it's if I look around the room, there are a couple of us that really do have more than one thing. But you said before, you really have to do focus on just one thing. And even for myself, as many fingers as I have in different pies, I know that whatever
One of it is-
one of them
right.
really has to be the primary focus. So.
And that's good that as other people are kind of giving out what their business plans are and what their goals are, that you can help bring them back to. They can't be all over the place
No.
because it doesn't benefit anybody. It doesn't benefit their business and then it makes it more kind of unclear what are they really selling. too.
Exactly.
So
Well, I think it's something like this too, Tricia. When we talk about reinventing, I think even established businesses need to reinvent and to constantly keep up with what the market or your customer is telling you to do. So it is a constant battle, but yet you're winning if you're identifying. And I think a lot of small businesses, one of the major problems is that they have not identified mainly who they are, so they cannot identify who their customer is. People come into me all the time and say, I want to open a business in Mystic. Can you look at my business plan? And I say, what is your product? What are you trying to sell?
Well, I'm gonna do this, and
yeah,
you know,
right.
some of this. And
So
over here, over in this corner, I'll have this.
Right, right. So I think this chapter is good, is also to keep people sort of in line and focused.
Focused on their
Exactly.
business.
On
Yeah.
their particular business, because it will happen.
It gives them an opportunity to, especially with that elevator speech, to self-check. You know, do that self-check every
You
now
know,
and
you
then.
talk about business plans and things, and as many years as I've been in business, this is the first time I'm really doing actually 2 business plans, one for my insurance and one for another business that I have, an e-commerce website. But one of the members, Barbara LaChance, her business is the Entrepreneur Center, and through the Entrepreneur Center, it's as many weeks as it happens to be, but it takes it from your thought to incubator.
Right, right.
And-
It's
and-
basically the start to finish.
Right, exactly. And I'm working one-on-one with her husband now to help me with my business plan. And I wish I had known him how many
Yeah.
years before.
Yeah.
I mean, most people are looking to retire, but that's just not me. I'm just not ready to do that yet. But the connections that have been made through this Fresh Connections are amazing. Barbara and Mary Lou have connected through the Entrepreneur Center, and now they're starting a nonprofit organization that is called Tipping the Nation, and they're going to be going into Burundi, Africa, and teaching the children there and all of the other things that they do as a nonprofit. So
That's
many
inspiring.
wonderful
Yeah.
things have come out of, and so many great friendships have been formed. And collaborations of doing things. Anne Marie Foster, you know
Yeah.
Anne Marie, and a fellow by the name of Brian, I can't think of Brian's last name, he has a home health business. He's not
Yes,
in the
yeah.
chapter because he's a man. But the 3 of us are going out and doing seminars on things like long-term care and home health care and the Irrevocable Funeral Trust, which I'm marketing, and we're just going in and giving information, but I wouldn't have had that access had I not met Brian through the Chamber and Anne Marie through Fresh Connections.
It's
So-
taking advantage of what's before you. I mean, these
Right.
are resources and people that are all around you, and if you take advantage of those opportunities, you know, like you said, through the Chamber and through these different connecting groups, that's terrific.
Yeah.
What do people do if they want to get involved? You have a few more spaces available in the Mystic branch, but what do
Is
what do people do?
on the website, freshconnectionsforwomen.org. There's tons of information. Anne Marie is working on the website. The colors are gorgeous. The logo is perfect. So you can go in there and you can look about membership. You can find the application. What we encourage, actually, our rules and regulations state, come to 2 meetings and then make a decision and submit your application. There is an application process. It is by invitation only. It's just
What I found too, just in this conversation, Lorraine, is that women are very emotional women, and they're compassionate, and it's just by our nature. But I'm finding that in these particular chapters, you're not alone. So
Absolutely not alone.
Even the war stories of small business, whether, I don't care whether it's Cabby, whether it's your business, whatever the business is, and you're having that one bad month or a streak of, let's not even go back to the snowstorm months. You meet and then you start communicating and you're finding you're not alone. You're dealing with the cash flow problem, you're dealing with the advertising problem, you're dealing with the networking problem. There's so much that you can talk about, and just by the connections alone with the chapters and the individual people within the chapters, you're not alone. I think that's so important.
A very dangerous thing to do in challenging economic times is to isolate yourself. It's the worst thing you could do, because then you're in this bubble all by yourself, and you get into this panic mode, and you're just kind of going around and around and round and round in circles, and you have
It's
to
kind of
take
like the mice that go around, and you just can't get off that little
That's the wonderful
slide.
things, like we were talking about the business after hours
Yes,
earlier. It's
absolutely.
a great opportunity to get out with other chamber members at these networking events or at the
And be
smaller
seen.
business before hours, and reach out to new people and make more connections. Lorraine has done so
Right, a
much
fabulous
with
job.
the connections she has made through the
Right.
chamber and through these other organizations.
I agree.
And what she's done has benefited others. So it's great with Fresh Connections, and also with the Military Seeds.
that's next month. I'm back
So,
again.
so we'll talk
wonderful.
more
That's
about
wonderful. That
military
really
seats
is.
next month.
Let me just say, though, that, you know, you talk about the 30-second escalator speech, and you talk about the person who gets to showcase. That's within the 90 minutes of the meeting. It's what you do with everybody else in the group. Go for coffee. Meet for lunch. Get to know
Absolutely.
one-on-one. I talked
Right.
to Mary Lou today just before I left, and she said, I just met with, I can't remember her name. She's new in the area. She does credit card process.
Elizabeth.
Elizabeth.
Yes.
I connected the two of them, gave Elizabeth Mary Lou, and Mary Lou just loves her. They're going to be doing business together. Mary Lou's bank does not do the credit card processing. So
excellent.
they put it out. So now there's another connection.
Yep.
So it's just on
And
and
you
on
know,
and on it goes.
Technology has changed, but really the basis for small business is that networking.
Networking,
You can call
relationship.
it building relationships. And it all goes back to the 1940s and the 1950s when you moved into town and they came with the welcome wagon basket. Do you remember that? And the welcome wagon basket was filled with your local dentist, your local jeweler, your local grocery store. And it was a network, let's say network of women in the neighborhood that put together a welcome basket with goodies and blah, 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 and said, these are the people that we use, and we trust them. They'll mow your lawn. And it goes back to those days. So when you look at your business and you say, I don't think I can hang in there anymore, just refresh yourself.
You got to get out. You got to get
there
out.
and do it. So, Lorraine, once again, you've done a fabulous job. You've been a very good friend to the chamber, and hopefully we've been a good friend to you as well.
It's been
And-
mutual.
yeah.
It's good.
So we will see you back here with another subject, and just say your business again or your non-profit again, and so that people know
Yeah,
where to
Fresh-
get that information.
Fresh Connections. I'm the founding president. We have, just so you know, we have a board of directors. We're a nonprofit. We are incorporated, so we're the real deal. Our dues are very reasonable, and it's just the way to go.
It's a great
And,
organization.
yeah, just check the website.
So contact Lorraine Sambar, and again, Lorraine, we will see you next week.
Thank you, Lorraine.
Next sometime.
Sounds great. We are the Greater Mystic Chamber of Commerce. Good night, Tricia. Good night, all.
Suzette.
Fly into mystic. Let your soul and spirit fly into mystic, into mystic, into mystic.